Hello everyone, my name is Gamal and this is Professor Valdir Rodrigues. Today we are going to speak about our X-Guard. X-Guard, about few concepts and techniques. We are going to speak overall here about the understanding of retention, position ourselves, and execution of our techniques. Okay? Briefly here we have to speak about the concept of guard. Guard in Jiu-Jitsu brings already the idea of protection. So our guard will be predominantly, most importantly, defensive. We always speak about the guard defensive. So our guard must always be a way to protect ourselves. Then we become eventually offensive. We can work on sweeps or potential submissions. The simple concept and understanding of guard resides around of. Try here too. We start on the bottom and I will have my legs in front of my partner. Whether I work with my guard open, when we work mostly here with placement, or we have some sort of retention, close guard, we are always looking for what? Being defensive. Okay? So I must be always aware of trying here to neutralize my partner's actions and eventually develop something, whether it's a sweep or submission, and we are going to speak about those movements in a further moment. Okay? Alright, but speaking specifically about the X-Guard. The X-Guard is one type of guard that the retention that we have spoken about is based on placement. Okay, we're going to understand here one way to get into the position, to get into our X-Guard, and then from that point we are going to develop on sweeps. Okay, so first step, there are different ways to work our entry. Today we are going to approach an entry when my partner is standing. Okay, so my partner will be standing in front of me, and how can we work? If I want to work the entry, naturally I have to retain one of my partner's legs. Okay, so for example, I'm going to hold Professor's right leg. Okay, so see that I hold Professor's right leg, and the idea is I'll be holding and I already try here to move my hips. Because one very important concept of guard also is level of retention, level of mobility. Okay, and as we speak about a guard open, so my retention would be partial, I need to always combine mobility. So remember, the more mobility, less retention. More retention, less mobility. So close guard would be the only one that we kind of we can keep our backs flat on the ground. The other guards with partial retention or placement, we have to move more. And of course, the X-Guard is no different. Okay? So I'll be trying here to hipscape a little bit, move my hips a little bit to the side, see that I'm not totally flat on my back. And I will work here on controlling the leg, as we spoke already, and another grip. Can be right arm, left arm, lapel. For the first movement here, we work on holding the opposite arm, my partner's left arm, okay? And simple work here. First step, I'm trying here to generate some space, okay? And my space will come here from, I will move my hips out, so my feet on the hips, I move my hips out, and as I move my hips out, what I want, hand goes under here inside, and I try here to place my knee behind of my partner's knee, okay? So see that my toes are pointing backwards now, okay? So again, we hold the leg and hold the sleeve. Again, what do I need? Create some space, create the angle toward the entry, okay? So I'll work on one, hips out. Hand goes in, and I will work with my opposite foot. Now from the hips to the knee, I'm going to drag my partner over, trying to place my knee behind of his knee. As I said, my hook also helps. So basically, grip, hook, and my opposite hand here, dragging my partner over, and I try here to become underneath of my partner. See that? I'll be trying here to, for now, maintain my back on the floor. My retention here would be basically holding the leg, as you can see clearly here, and bringing the leg as close as possible to my head, and placement of my feet. That reminds us here, guys, the form of an X. That's why the X-Guard. One foot in front of the hips, the other one here behind of the knee, and I can preserve the sleeve. Okay? So again. So first step, we start here with guard open, okay? Understanding that we can work the entry not only for when my partner is standing, but also when he's on his knees. Naturally that if I want to work the entry for when my partner is on his knees, I have to try here to generate more movement in order to create here some sort of imbalance and get underneath of my partner. Okay, so again, holding the leg. Remember that back flat on the floor will be eventually detrimental, reduces my mobility, makes my position more vulnerable. So we try here to hip escape, okay? And holding the arm. Remember that our guard is always defensive, okay? So I will hold one here, hold the leg, and again, hand goes in, I hip escape. Hip escaping, arm is already under. My foot helps, why? I can hook my partner's knee, I drag him over, getting my back on the floor. See that? I pull him up. 1, 2, boom, when I bring my partner over. Again, foot in front of the hips, opposite one here behind of my partner's knee. We, for now, preserve the sleeve, and see that I try to bring his leg here as close as possible, or better speaking here, over my shoulder, okay? Because if my partner's leg, for example, is too far from my shoulder here on my arm, it becomes easier for him to break, okay? Because naturally, my partner will be reactive. It's a game of actions and reactions. So for every movement that I try, my partner will eventually have a potential answer, okay? So we try here to make our defense here, our retention, as solid as possible. And again, always understanding, game of actions and reactions. So I never think that by only holding my partner, it's going to be enough. My partner will try to move, and I try always to follow him, to conserve here my position, okay? And as you can see, level of retention based on placement mostly, okay? My legs here, my hooks, I'll be hooking my partner, trying to keep mobility on my hips, okay, and follow my partner's eventual movement and control over the leg. Okay, so that's our entry, okay? From the entry here, we know that we can now develop potential attacks, okay? Our first attack, as we started already with the sleeve, we are going to preserve that sleeve, okay? And again, hold the arm, hold the leg. I'm going to hip escape out, hip escape in, understanding that this one is one example. Okay, we have different ways to work. So again, 1, 2, hook, bring over, and again, we are here on our X guard. Okay, so for the first movement, our first attack, our first sweep, very simple transition. The hand here that I started already holding, I preserve. And now I will just transfer here to my opposite hand, okay? So see that, 1, I switch the grip, controlling it. See that, arm remains behind of the leg, so the leg therefore remains over my shoulder, and I conserve the sleeve. Opposite hand, now free, goes the collar, okay? So I'm going to hold my partner's collar, and now combining 2 movements. I'm going to pull my partner's shoulders down, extending my legs at the same time. Why? Try to create imbalance, and I'm going to take my partner down. He's most likely laying on his shoulder. Okay? So 1, 2, and 3. Okay? See that as soon as I took my partner down, I will consolidate, finish my sweep. I will bring my legs back and conclude my position on top. And also approaching that. Sweeps are always when I start on the bottom and I necessarily have to finish on top. Whether I'm finishing a dominant position, side control, mount position, or just into our partner's guard, doesn't matter. The position by bottom to top is going to be the condition to consolidate to finish our sweep. Okay? So again, we initiate here our sweep, and remember that retention over the legs. So I control one of the legs, control the sleeve. Again, 1, 2, drag my partner over. Again, what do we want? As I have the arm under control, I will just feed my opposite hand. So I hold the sleeve here, and hand goes to the collar. So I control the collar, be hard better, okay? Because the higher my hand is, the easier it becomes to break and to bring my partner's shoulders down. So I pull him here, 1, extending my legs, and I take him down. Again, as soon as I took him down, we can let go, and we can land here nice on side control position. Okay? So that was our first movement. See that the idea is basically what? Trying to find a solid retention, because that's the most important point, regardless of the type of guard that we work. Guard is defensive, so we work on retention, protection. I have to make sure that my partner won't pass my guard easily, and then from that point, based on the grips that we have available and of course our plan of execution, we go for the sweep or potential submission. Okay, so that was our first attack, our first sweep. Now let's work on our second movement, our second sweep. the approach, the entry will be the same, but now we work on different grip. We are going to hold the opposite arm. Okay, so again, partner is standing, I will, again, hold the leg, but now as I said, I will hold the opposite sleeve. Okay, remember that my grips here can be various, can be many. Okay, I can control right arm, left arm, lapel, doesn't matter. Okay, I control the arm. Again, same thing. Hand in, hips out, and I'm going to get underneath. Remember, I'm trying here to be underneath of my partner, back on the floor, and I drag my partner over. The leg here must be over my shoulder. Improves my retention, therefore improves my defense. My partner won't be able to pass my guard easily. So, foot goes under, I bring over, oh, and I get it. Okay? We have a same situation. See that? Now, we hold the opposite arm. Okay? And for the transition of this movement here, how do we work? First step, right away, as soon as I get into my position, I'm going to switch the grip. So I will move one to the hand that, the arm here, and the arm that I have behind of my partner's leg, and I just move it now behind of the knee. Okay, so again, hold here one, one, and two, behind of the knee. Now I switch again, so my hand goes now in between of my partner's knees, and I grab this knee again. So see that I will switch the grip twice. So one and two. As soon as I switch the grip for a second time, now I don't need to hold the leg. Okay, from no longer here, you need to hold the leg. Why? My partner is doing that. Okay, so see that by holding the sleeve, his arms are already blocking the leg. Okay, then the execution becomes simple. Why? Because my hand free here goes to the belt, to the pants, to the jacket of the gi here. I can just, I hold it, and I drop my foot behind of my partner's foot. I'm going to extend my knees again, and I pull him. I want to put him here, seated on the ground, top. One and two. Boom. My partner lands on the floor. I have to finish my sweep. But see that in this situation, I can combine with the guard passing. Why? Because the arms is still blocking the leg. So I bring my leg back, and I can just push and go straight here to side control position. Naturally that landing on side control would be potentially no, definitely better than landing inside of the guard. Why? Because then I would have a easier access to the neck and arms. Okay, and that's the goal of Jiu-Jitsu. We try here to get to work on a progression, advance into a more favorable position in order to develop potential submission. Okay, and our common targets, of course, we have leg attacks, we have feet, we can attack the feet, but we also commonly, I would say here, attack the arms and the neck. Okay, so again, so same situation, hold the arm, hold the leg. Again, what I need, keep escaping. So I'm going to hold the leg, hip escape out, hook, hip escape in, I bring my partner over. Again, we have our guard, retention here. Remember, your priority here is my partner can never pass my guard easily. Okay, so my level of retention must be good. And remember, level retention in this situation, as we don't have that full retention, depends on mobility as well. So again, one, switch the grip. Two, hand goes inside, and I switch it again. Remember that I want to keep my partner's arm here behind of his leg. Therefore now, blocking the leg, I don't need to grab the leg anymore. My hand now goes to his gi here, to the belt, to the pants, to the jacket, anywhere guys where I can hold and pull. And again, as I hold, I can drop my foot behind of his foot. Now pulling and extending, boom, I took him down. Remember that as we have the arm under our control, what can we do here? Let me just turn a little bit here. What can we do here? I can just bring my feet back and right away, pull. Okay, so see that I pull, clear the way, still holding the sleeve, and we go to side control position. Okay, again. One, two, up, again. One and two. See that I switch the grip twice. Hand goes, belt, the gi, his pants, anywhere. I hold, drop my foot, behind of the foot, and I pull. Again, as soon as I land, I can just clear away and pass the guard. Okay? So see that we are commonly and essentially working here with points of retention. Leg, sleeve, could have been the collar. Actually, the following one is going to be the collar. But always understanding that my primary idea is, okay, I want to work my guard, and guard essentially depends on what? Defense, okay? So we are trying to defend ourselves. Then, of course, based on my defense, the quality of my defense, I can eventually develop some attack, whether it's a sweep, as we have done here twice. I already have done two examples of sweeps, or potential submissions, again, where I can attack my partner's legs, partner's shoulders, partner's arms, the neck, okay? All right, so we have spoken about a brief concept of guard, the understanding of guard, a simple understanding also here of the X guard, including here one way to get into our guard, to really work our X guard. And then from that point, also approaching levels of mobility and retention, we start speaking about our sweeps. Okay? First one, we were holding the opposite arm. So it was right to left or left to right, depends on the side of your control. For the second movement, we were working on cross grip. Okay? But both situations, again, working on multiple grips. I hold the leg, but my opposite hand will eventually be holding collar or sleeve. Okay. For the third movement, now we work holding the collar. Okay? And this movement, again, will depend on good retention, and we are going to work basically in 2, maybe 3 steps. So again, we initiate our movement on. My partner is standing. Again, I'll be holding the leg, because that's the one that I want to retain. And my opposite hand now goes my partner's lapel. So working here, basically leg and lapel. Of course, you can combine it here with different edges. So I could maybe start here with sort of maybe hybrid spider guard here. So my foot goes to my partner's arm. So see that I'm always looking for what? Creating walls, protections, obstacles to my partner. Okay. So then again, 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So see that again. Same thing, leg goes to my shoulder, my feet behind of the knee, other foot here to the hips. Sometimes I can even slide it a little bit and goes here to the opposite side of the hip. Doesn't matter, actually doesn't really affect the efficiency of the guard. Okay, of course, depends on the quality of execution. So see that, I hold the lapel. Now, what I need to do, I'm going to work on 2 steps, okay, maybe 3, including the conclusion itself. So what I want, first I'm going to extend my knees and I pull my part. So I have to pull him hard because I want to create the balance. I want to force him to post. Okay, so he's going to post on both of his hands. So the begin here is I extend here and I pull, boom, professor's post. So see that as soon as he posts, now I can try to work the second step, which is trying to sit up and conclude my position on top. Okay, so again. So first step, holding the leg and the lapel. Remember that the higher the better. Okay, we initiated our approach already here with the hand here next to the shoulder. Okay, so I will pull, extend my knees, and I force my partner to post. Okay, so see that I will pull, extend, boom. As soon as he posts, I try to waste no time. Okay, why? Because if I stop here, I give him time to rebalance and regain his weight on me. And as I'm not holding the lapel, of course, I'm looking for something else. But remember, guys, there is a break in the process. My partner will boom, eventually react and work on something. So I will have here to regroup and try to reestablish my retention. So again, 1 and 2. As soon as he lands there, posting, what I want, I'm going to extend both of my legs and simultaneously I extend and I will post on my elbow or eventually my hand. So this thing here, boom. Okay, so again, I extend and elbow. Okay, and from this point here now, let's work the conclusion of the movement. I can eventually keep my hook here or just step on the knee, and the sequence will be, if I have my right elbow or right hand on the floor, I'm going to step my left foot. Okay, why? Because now I have balance. Okay, we work in a movement where is our technical stand-up. And by the way, technical stand-up is like this. So we try to post 1, step 2. Okay, so see that I have 2 points of support in opposite sides. So right, left, or left and right. Okay, then what do you do? Simple. Leg comes back. You are standing. Okay, so that's basically our technical stand-up. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, all right. So now we had our step number 1. I was pulling and kicking my partner. Step number 2, we're pushing and sitting up. Again, hand or elbow on the floor. And see that as soon as I pull my partner, he's posting there, I'm already turning to the side where it becomes easier for me to post. Why? Because my opposite hand now, opposite arm is holding the leg. So 1, again, I can maybe step on the hip, on the knee, or just keep my foot there. 2, I step, or opposite. Now, technical stand up. 1, 2, and I conclude. Remember that, once we conclude, we try here not to dive into the guard. Why? Because my partner may counter with potential triangle, okay? And of course, as my partner has no retention, it becomes easier for me to control the legs and eventually try to pass the guard. We are always looking for what? Of course, if I know that my partner wants, of course, work with retention and defense, I'm trying to minimize the defense by moving around of the guard. Of course, that's one way to work. We have different ways to deal and eventually try to pass our partner's guards. Okay? So again, so start here, again, 1, 2, bring over, lapel, again, what I want, pull, simultaneously push with the legs. Again, I try to waste no time. Remember, every time that you stop longer in a situation, you give time to your partner to think and rebalance, recover better base. So, stretching again, elbow on the floor or hand on the floor. Now, what I need, remember, right elbow, right hand on the floor, left foot. Left elbow, left hand, right foot. Blocking, bring your leg back, and again, we push. Remember that as we have the leg over the shoulder, diving into the triangle, it's not a good idea, okay? So we try here to preserve position on top, or try to connect here with a potential guard passing, okay? Get rid of the legs, or trying here to reestablish our grips and eventually conclude our next step, okay? So see that, based on our brief concept of guard, we were approaching today our X guard, situation where guard open. Remember, every time that our guard is open with placement or partial retention, we have always to combine with some level of movement. Mobility is very, very important, okay? Remember that for the person on top, it's much easier to move around and to eventually produce some angle than for the person on the bottom. Person on the bottom, as we have a restricted amount of movements, we have always to be ahead. We have always to be in a certain angle, respect certain angle in order to be strong defensively. Guard is always defensively to become offensive, okay? And of course, working an entry, one example, understand that my partner is standing, becomes easier to be underneath of my partner. And from that point, we had first movement where we had control over one arm, second one we changed it, controlling the opposite arm, and third one holding the lapel. So just to finalize here, guys, let's go briefly here over our 3 attacks of today. So first step, we work holding the sleeve, holding the leg. 1, remember that, hooking the leg, bringing over, and we had our X guard. Remember, leg next to shoulder. Cross here, the grip, bring it to the opposite hand, hold the lapel. Again, remember that we pull, extend, and we take our partner down. Remember that my partner lands on the floor. I try to get rid of the legs, and in a situation that we call side control position or side mount. The second one, we again worked on control the sleeve, but now the opposite arm. So 1, 2, bring over, again. Switch the grip 1, switch grip twice. Arms now blocking the leg. I will hold the lapel, the jacket here, the belt, the pants. I drop my foot behind of my partner's foot. I kick, push a little bit, and again, bring my legs back. I try here to conclude my guard passing. Again, the arm is blocking the leg, so the chances are relevant. And for the last one, we worked on collar, right? So again, 1, 2, pull over. Remember that I want to combine extending and pulling. Why? Boom, creating the balance. My partner now is posting. I push twice. Remember that I have to sit up, hand on the floor or elbow on the floor. Now, if I want to stand up, remember our technical stand up. So 1, 2, and again 3. Always the precaution of not diving into the guard to prevent potential triangle. Okay, consolidate position on top. We can develop our following step. Okay, all right. So those were our techniques of today: entry, and we worked on 3 sweeps specifically. I hope all of you guys enjoyed, and thank you very much, guys. Let's see each other on the mat.